Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home, hanging out on this beautiful summer day. Oh, so bright. We got to wear shades, eh, Dave?
Oh yeah,
You get
today
to.
I do.
Yeah, good for you. All right, so we're talking about spending time in your backyard, outdoors as much as possible. So we find out different ways that we can do this. And one thing we want to talk about right now is when you're making that decision, design your backyard, we have to talk about the surface. Some people you're either going to do a deck or you're going to do a stone patio.
Yeah.
And so we have to look and weigh out the elements here and see which one is best. I guess a lot of it's personal preference.
It is, and well, you know, height elevation really is going to determine that. I mean, believe it or not, from the pool patio behind us to the back door, we have a 4-foot drop.
Wow, and you wouldn't know it.
And you wouldn't know it, no.
Right.
And in the case of where, do you decide to go with the patio? Do you decide to go with the deck? It really plays on what are the client's needs. Now, in the case of people want a hot tub, want to make it look built in, you'd think, yeah, okay, I'm going to go with the deck.
Sure.
But then when it goes to the type of surfacing material that the client has personal preferences on, believe it or not, when you go to the stone patio versus, let's say, PVC decking, which is like low maintenance, looks like wood, made from extruded plastics, it's the same cost. But, you know,
I wouldn't have thought that.
No. Well, you know, back in the day when I was building decks with pressure treat or cedar, there was a real cost difference between the stone raised patios and those type of decks.
So people would just naturally
go to a deck if they wanted to be a bit more economical.
Okay.
But now that the choice selections of they want low maintenance and they want you know, stains not to occur on the wood or even with stone, but there's sealers now that you can add to the stone to prevent, you know, grease and red wine stains. But same thing with PVC decks. PVC decks, you could, you know, spill something that's a greasy burger or a Merlot and forget about it for a week and then come by and power wash it off. There's no stains. So there's so many pros and cons to consider.
Right.
Height elevation, maintenance factors, but really when it comes down to personal preferences, how do you like to step on your bare feet? Do you like that feel of coarse stone with a bit of texture? Do you like the feel of what looks like wood, feels like wood? And really isn't, but you know, working out the height elevations is key.
That's key. So once you establish that, then it does come down to what you feel. Let's think about PVC versus the stone we have here right now. Which one's hotter on a hot day like this to step on?
That's a great question. You know, when it comes down to the darker tones and colors, I mean, just even like the furniture here, you know, it's absorbing the heat right now. So if you stay a little bit more towards the lighter colors, you know, the absorption rate is going to be somewhat similar as the heat factor, the darker colors. So they're getting now into some really cool dark burgundies or dark browns on the PVC wood, but they're also getting into that chocolate tone and chocolate colors in the interlocking brick. So they do absorb heat. It is, so those are key factors to consider.
Okay, and you know, you were mentioning like sometimes if you have small children outside playing, either one is safe and fine.
Yeah.
Versus again the wood. Back in the day, people used to get splinters.
Oh, my daughter! I remember at you know 7 years age, I heard this scream, and she's standing stationary on the wood deck, and I'm like, you know, what's the matter? And you know, we lift up her foot, and there it is. There's a wood splinter in. So you know, people really started getting deterred away from the wood. And leaning a little bit more towards the stone or now the PVC deck. And
another thing now, you don't have to worry about, because I know my son right now, he would be out on the patio with his cars, and he'd be playing with his cars, so he'd be on his knees and sliding around, and the kids don't treat the surface the same way we do. They use it. They're sliding around and do whatever they're doing. And obviously, as we know with kids, as you say, you spill, so being able to clean up afterwards is key as well.
That's right.
So in terms of color and design, when you're looking, you also have to help out with the house, because you want this to flow in with the colors of the house. Have you ever had someone that just says, you know what, no, I want to do my own thing. I want this to be crazy and not match the house at all?
We've actually had some people that really want to be bold and contrast. So, but again, I'm more of an earth tone kind of guy. I like earth tone colors. So if you want to migrate to some of the darker colors, figure out about the heat. Look at the contrast. What kind of furniture are you going to put on it that then stands out as well? So these are things that we consider. Another big factor on patio versus deck, well, if you have that extra bit of height and you want to maybe extend a little bit of storage space, sometimes a deck becomes really useful because you can build a deck. It will dual to store the outdoor furniture in the wintertime. So that's sometimes a consideration.
Okay, that makes sense too. And we talked about the fact that we have a hot tub here, and they wanted to make it a little bit more, you know, flush with, sometimes hot tubs just stick out like a
That's
sore
right.
thumb, right? And people are always trying to find a way to sort of blend them in. So that's something you do have to consider,
That's right.
depending on, again, the elevation and if you can work with it. So we made it so that we can at least kind of step in here a little easier.
Yeah.
Right. Materials wise, again, colors, you mentioned some of the more trendy colors. What are you know, if you are getting outside of just the neutrals, what are you seeing like in trends right now? What's the most popular?
People are now picture framing, you know, so it could be with an interlock patio where you use like the grayish tones, and then you'll get a charcoal border.
Yeah, I like that. I like the borders in that.
Yeah, same thing with the wood. In fact, we had some people that migrate towards those burgundy or the brown tones, and then they picture frame with a gray or a grayish tone on the outside. So that's becoming a big trend because people like to create those, it's like an area rug.
Yeah,
An area
exactly.
rug have borders to them. So these are things that you can create with the patios or the decks.
You've seen people even do that with their front porches now and everything, right?
Yeah.
So, one thing though, I think we want to look at, as you want to be careful with trends, we know when you're accessorizing and you're trendy, that's easy because you can throw out pillows and change this and that, even furniture. But when you're talking about something like this is supposed to be here for a long time, you probably want to be a little careful about something that may be out of date in 10 years or 15 years, right?
Well, actually, I came across a client from, well over 20 years ago that originally started with a deck.
Right.
And, you know, back then there wasn't PVC options.
Sure.
So he went cedar. But even then, after staining it and, you know, the infrastructure of it eventually had rot and mold that when, you know, basically the deck started falling apart.
Sure.
So the second go around, he went stone. So, you know, the stone patio will endure. We don't have an infrastructure of wood, so there's no rotting of anything happening. Because even with the PVC decks, you still build infrastructurally with PT. Now, there is some new technologies that are coming out with steel, but then you're really jacking up the price.
Okay.
But when it comes down to it, you have to look at the style. You have to look at the color tones that are available. Do you like the feel of stone under your feet? Do you like the feel of wood under your feet? So
Things to
yeah,
think about.
there's a lot of things that we table in conversation up front with our design so that people can make executive decisions that suit them.
I think I have a hard time deciding that, but I still love the stone. And I think in the end, really the stone probably has the longevity in terms of design, staying away from something too trendy, and probably just the foundation of it is solid, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So again, something to consider. It's with all these new materials out there, a lot of people didn't even know that there are PVC decks available. So you don't have to be going out and power washing your deck and scraping off all the paint and repainting or staining your deck. All that is gone.
No black carpenter ants.
Oh, yes, I hate those.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do. We're coming a long way. This is good. You're working in a good time right now, right? With all these new things. This is awesome. Well, again, thanks to the people who let us come to this space here this morning. We're not leaving, so sorry.
Let's get some sun.
Yeah, we need sun. And now I get to put my sunglasses on. We'll be back with more TERRA at Home.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Amanda from LA Cupcakes in Burlington. And holy, this is amazing. My son would be like losing his mind right now. So we want to talk a little bit about you and this business. How did this come to be for you?
I've loved to bake ever since I was a child, and myself and my business partner, we met in a baking situation, and both of us decided that, you know, we wanted to do this for ourselves.
Yeah.
So
A little brainstorming and
yeah, we took it on, and so far so good. 3 years strong, and
for
you know,
you.
the business is growing every year.
that's
so,
awesome.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely.
So when we look at cupcakes, I mean, there's been such a trend and it's been sticking.
Yeah.
It's been holding on, right? So you're seeing that a lot at weddings. People have been doing it, but parties and everything. And I think it's fun because it's individual.
Definitely.
Right? People can make their
Definitely.
own choices, and there's just something for everybody.
And it's easier than cutting a cake.
Yes, I think cutting the cake is actually very stressful for a lot of people. People always try to pass that duty on to other people, so this makes it easy, and you don't even have to have a plate.
Exactly.
Right? So you're going to show us a few techniques today.
Yes.
You have lots of colors of icing. We have lots of different types of cupcakes here, and there is a technique, and that's where
There
a lot of
is.
us lose it. We try to do our at-home baking, and we can't make them look as good as you, but you can help us out a little bit here today.
Practice
and-
makes perfect.
Exactly, exactly. So let's start with that rose one over on the far side, right? Shall
Okay.
we? Okay.
All right.
Here, I'll grab one of these guys,
Thank you.
and you can show me what you do. Show me your magic.
So what I have actually is a petal tip, which is this tip right here. It looks like a little teardrop.
Okay.
So basically what you want to do is with the fatter end at the bottom, just sort of make a little S in the middle of the cupcake, a little squiggle. And then you want to just start to build your petals around the squiggle.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, piece of cake, Amanda.
Well, you know. So longer and longer as you go out,
Oh, how cool.
and just build your rows.
You've done this before a few times, eh?
Just a few times.
I bet you like dream of cupcakes.
Oh yeah. These are definitely popular for weddings or bridal showers.
I could see that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something so simple and it looks so great, right?
It is.
I mean, you don't
It
even have to
is.
add anything to that, and
There
that's
you
just
are.
as it is, stands on its own.
Exactly.
Really
Exactly.
nice.
So,
Okay, so when we're talking right now, say for brides and bridal showers, do you see the trends changing in terms of colors? Or
definitely.
Yeah,
Every
you do,
season,
right?
different colors. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So what are we dealing with right now?
Right now, it's a lot of purples, a lot of navies. I'm not a huge fan of darker colors in cupcakes,
Oh,
but we
wow.
definitely have things like crystal sugar, which can kind of sparkle up a cupcake and not
Yes.
put all that coloring into a cupcake. So it's really great.
I
A
was
lot of
gonna
people.
say,
Yeah, a
Can you
lot of
imagine
people
having
choose
like
that.
a navy cupcake and what your
Yeah,
mouth is going to look like?
exactly. And
Oh,
we
geez.
try to talk people out of that for weddings because it's not appealing.
It's so funny. Yeah, just because the theme is navy doesn't mean you have to go that
Exactly.
far, right?
Yes.
Love this for kids right here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is a little Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse cupcake.
Yeah.
And so now we're looking at the pattern of the icing on top.
Yeah, so this is just a simple round tip, nothing special. And all you want to do is squeeze, start in the middle, and then just work your way around and up.
See, that just looks so nice. It's funny because when people do this at home, they use knives and they
Yes.
try to, or spatulas, and you're trying to
Yes.
spread on top. And you can tell because it's all running down the sides, you know.
I encourage
scrolled.
trying a piping bag. I mean, all you
Yeah.
need to do is cut the top off and just give it a go. It doesn't have to be perfect. We make little gum paste ears. You can use chocolate callets, little cookies,
Huh.
stick those in. If you want to do a Minnie Mouse, we've got little bows. You can
So
find them at craft stores.
Cute.
And there you are,
Neat.
little Minnie Mouse.
So simple. Again, you don't have to go and you don't have to spend hours and hours on cupcakes. Like some people are trying to do all these fine details, and then you
Yes.
have to times that by 24 or whatever,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That's just a little too stressful. You just can't be doing that stuff. So
Yes.
Okay, let's go into something else pretty again. So
Okay.
again, almost creating that sort of a rose look, a flower look on top.
Yeah, yeah. This is a little bit of a simpler rose.
Okay.
Again, really popular at weddings or showers. So same as the round tip. You want to start in the middle, and then just work your way around.
How nice.
And it never finishes totally. Whoops! Never finishes totally clean.
Right.
So you just want to stick a little flour or something on the side to clean it up a little
Oh,
bit.
how perfect. See, look at that. That's great. And you know what? And that's something, again, it's so simple and straightforward.
Yeah.
Really, don't be afraid of trying out these different tips, right?
Exactly,
Because that's what's going to
exactly.
give you more of that professional look.
Yes. Yes.
I love it. Fantastic. Okay, I'll put that one there. Now, obviously, we have lots of kids' parties. Now, we've talked about the Minnie Mouse ones and Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
But again, it's really just about themed all the kind of the latest thing that are going on.
Yes,
But
yes.
check out these. This is cool because you can use an image
Yes,
from whatever.
yes. We do a lot of edible images at the shop. We can print pretty much anything you want, but again, craft stores, they carry all sorts of cupcake toppers. So I mean, if you don't have access to the edible images, you can always go to a craft store, pick something up,
Yeah.
top the
I like
cupcake
that.
yourself. Yeah.
Okay. And this one, so yeah, show us how you make all this frilly sort of look around
Okay.
there.
So star tip or flower drop tip, and you just sort of want to squeeze and pull and squeeze and pull and just keep making little stars
Oh, that's cool.
all the way around the cupcake and work your way into the center.
Oh, neat. That's neat.
Yeah. And then you can pretty much put anything you want on top. I've got crystal sugar, which again I love. We have little pearls.
It adds just enough little sparkle and.
Yep. Yeah.
Isn't
I've
that
got
amazing? It looks so good.
smaller little silver pearls, and if you wanted to top it with a little snowflake.
Cool. I love that. And you know what's great too is you can do this at kids' parties and let them decorate the cupcakes
Yes,
for you.
yes.
Right? I mean, they're definitely not going to make it look quite like that. The kids don't care because they'll just eat it.
They love
right?
sprinkles. They'll
Yeah.
just, yeah,
So much
absolutely.
fun. All right, so let's try this last one.
Okay.
It looks like a sunflower. It's beautiful.
Exactly, for the season.
Yeah.
It's nice and warm right now. Who doesn't love a good sunflower? So this is just a piping bag that I actually cut the tip into. So I cut it in the point of a triangle.
Okay.
So something you can do at home, even with a freezer bag if you don't have a piping bag. So you just want to squeeze and pull and let go.
Oh,
and
cool.
squeeze and pull and let go. So kind of like the rose, you just want to work your way all the way around and do maybe one more row.
That is so cool.
And then put a little blob in the middle.
I have a feeling that would take a little bit of practice. Again, you make it look so easy. But, you know, like how gorgeous is that? Also, you can apply all the same decorating ideas that you're telling us today to wedding cakes as well, or any type of cake.
Absolutely.
When we're
Yeah,
looking
we
at
are.
all these wonderful cupcakes that you have over here, what are some of the faves? Like, so people can just walk in your shop and also just pick up a cupcake. What are
Absolutely.
the top ones that
Yeah.
people are looking for?
Definitely the red velvet, the Oreo, the cookie dough, top sellers for sure. But I mean, everybody's got their own personal preference. So my favorite is the chocolate mint. Not everybody's a mint person.
yeah, that's good.
But I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
So we offer 16 different flavors every single day. So everybody
Holy,
has an
that's a
option.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of baking.
It is.
Are you up nice and early in the morning?
Pretty early. I'm not a morning person. Luckily, my business partner,
That's why we have partners. 'Cause
Exactly.
You balance each other out, right?
Exactly.
Some of the weaknesses and the strengths come together, but clearly you guys are doing something right here. And again, it's all about following the trends and looking what's out there.
Yeah.
And branch out and try this stuff at home. You know,
It's
it's
true.
not going to look the way you do it because you're a professional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why we can go to your store.
You know what though? Things at home are made with love, so
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be perfect. It's from the heart.
It's so true. It's so true. And just try to again, just think outside of the box and try to
Exactly.
be creative. And all the little appliques and the little sparkles and the little stones, take it up a notch. So,
Yeah.
thank
And like
you.
I said, you can find them everywhere. So
Awesome. Amanda, thank you so much from
You're
LA
very
Cupcakes
welcome.
in Burlington. That's it for now. More Terra to come.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. Back with Chef Mark, and we're doing some grilling today.
Yeah, we're going to do 3 different techniques that all can be done on your barbecue.
Okay.
And a lot of questions I get are, you know, what is the difference between braising, searing, and barbecuing? Okay?
Yes.
So I've brought 3 items along that we can do all 3 techniques. I brought a pineapple along, and what we're going to do with the pineapples, I'm going to add a little bit of sugar and a little bit of cinnamon and a touch of oil to that, a little bit of salt. We're going to sear that. okay?
Okay.
So we want to cook that nice and fast, get some good grill marks on it, but I don't want it to cook slowly, because if you cook it slowly, it's just going to disintegrate. It's
Right.
a very soft item.
Right.
We have some pork back ribs. What we're going to do with the ribs are, we're going to do them braised, okay? So I'm going to show you how to braise them in the barbecue, because a lot of times you'll do braising in the oven. These are going to be
Right.
very slow roasted, dry roasted actually in the oven.
Okay.
And what'll end up happening is they'll fall off the bone. And then we'll just do your straight up grill. And so I brought a piece of New York strip loin, okay? We're going to do a nice simple, and I'll show you how to do a real quick grill on that and get some good color on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Yes.
So the first one I'm going to work on is the ribs. And what you need is you need some foil. And you need cooking spray. This is about the only time I ever use cooking spray. I'm not a big fan of it, but
Right.
to do this, you need cooking spray. Otherwise, your ribs will stick.
Oh, and that's not fun to have tinfoil ribs.
No. And you want to put it on, you know, fairly heavily as well. We're going to take our salt, and we're going to salt it, and pepper, and we're going to salt this side quickly and pepper that as well.
So I'm noticing you're not doing any kind of prep by. You're not boiling your ribs.
No.
You're not doing anything like that. It's just
No, all you want to do is take that back strap off,
Right.
and then you want to, like it plain the way it is, there's enough fat on there that you're going to get enough juice. If you want to add more juice, some people add a little bit of beer to this,
Sure.
a little bit of Coke
Sure.
or something like that, okay? Otherwise, all I'm going to do, and if you are going to add a liquid, you just got to make sure that you fold it properly and make a good pocket.
right. That'll be messy.
And then we're going to fold over our ribs, and you're going to put them in your oven, in the barbecue.
Barbecue. Yep.
And we're going to do that at about 200. You want to leave it in there for a fair amount of time. You're looking at about 3.5 hours, depending on how thick, how many ribs are in there.
So you have to be
But
patient.
you have to be patient, but I also put them on the top. I don't want it on that bottom rack, okay? We're not looking to grill it. We're looking for it to get the natural juices and fall off the bone.
Okay. So
So
you're
we're gonna-
basically using your barbecue as an oven in a
you're
sense.
using
right?
it as an oven.
Yeah.
That's essentially what's happening.
Right.
You're saving yourself from having your oven on in your house in the
Sure.
summertime. Not ideal.
Okay.
Okay, now we are going to take our pineapple, and I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon on this pineapple.
Grilled pineapple is absolutely amazing.
It's
If
delicious.
people haven't had it before, it's unreal how good, and it's so easy to do. And you don't really have to worry about it being undercooked or anything like meat.
That's right.
And
The only thing that would be tricky is, you know, trying to do it at the proper temperature. And again, this one has already been cored, okay?
Yes.
So there's no core in this, which means it's going to cook a lot faster.
Okay.
So
Yep.
if you did have one that was a full core, it was a bigger pineapple, you can do it as a slow roast. You can actually put it on a rotisserie and just do a rotisserie in
Wow,
there with it, which is
really?
fantastic. Yeah,
Oh my
really
gosh.
good. And then we're going to add a little bit of sugar to this. So I've got
cinnamon,
sugar, salt.
Salt.
Okay, you add a little
How
bit
come
of salt.
salt?
It just brings out the flavor. It makes
Okay.
it jump a little bit. It'll actually come across as a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
And I'm adding a little bit of cooking oil and not too much of that. All right, and we're just going to mix that up. And this is going to go onto our searing grill. Okay?
Yep.
Now you have your New York. Now, again, I think a couple weeks ago or a couple shows ago, we did show you how to test
Yes,
the
that's right.
doneness of this. So you got to decide how you want it cooked, okay? And you're going to want to decide ahead of time how you're going to have this cooked, because it's going to change what way you're going to grill this.
Okay.
If somebody wants their steak well done, okay, you want to keep it on the oven, you have to do it over indirect heat. Okay,
Right.
if you have direct heat, it will char the outside
right.
before the inside is cooked.
Absolutely.
So
Yep.
you definitely want to figure out, you know, everybody's color and stuff like that. And if you do have somebody that does want it well done, do it on over indirect heat and just put it on earlier than the other ones. The other ones you're going to go over the direct heat, okay? So a medium rare, something like that, nice and hot. Get that flame going, get a good char on that,
Right.
okay?
Yep.
So we have some salt, and this is simple, just salt and pepper on this steak. We're going to keep it nice and easy. We're going to make sure the grill is extremely hot, so I don't have to worry about putting oil onto it or anything like that.
Okay.
There we go.
I know. When I do salt and pepper mine, I usually put a little bit of olive oil on too, but you don't need to do that.
It depends. You can put a little bit of oil on there, but I mean, especially with the New York, you still got the fat cap on there.
Yep.
This particular New York has a lot of marbling all the way through it. When I cut that, I made sure that there was a good amount of marbling on this piece, so you won't need a lot of oil on there because there's fat already to begin with. Okay.
Yep.
Just takes out a few calories.
Yeah.
Now, if you're worried that, I mean, the only reason you really would add oil onto it is to stop it from sticking. If that's what your concern is, your best bet is to just get a rag, put a little oil onto it, and wipe down your grill. And what it really does is it ends up making it a non-stick grill.
Sure.
So whether that be the stainless steel or the cast iron grills, it doesn't matter. If you put oil, wipe it down, let it burn off, you've basically put a non-stick coating on there.
Great. Okay, that's a good idea then.
Okay. So we have some tomatoes here. I'm going to throw these on the grill as well.
So just going to throw them on there directly?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw them on directly, and and all this is we're just going to wilt them down. These are really nice tomatoes. We got a little some heirlooms.
Yeah, those are great.
Little salt, little pepper. Mix that around. That's ready to go.
Okay.
And then we have some green onions. And all I'm going to do with these is I'm going to split them. And these are going to go on as well.
Basically grill anything. Throw it on there, right?
You can grill anything.
Give
You
it
know
a
what?
try.
We have such long winters
Yes.
that I always think to myself, the last thing I want to do is have to cook inside.
Exactly.
So if you can cook it inside, there's a way of doing it on a grill.
There's a way of doing it on a
There's
grill.
a way of doing it on a grill. Okay? So all this stuff is ready to go. So again, just as a quick recap, we have grilling, depending on the color, whether it's going to be direct or indirect heat. We have the ribs that are braising, and then we're going to have the pineapple, which is seared.
Awesome. Okay, so we'll do that.
We'll throw it all
Everything's going on the barbecue, and we're going to come back and show you the finished product, the magic of a break. We'll be right back.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
The Hamilton Spectator. At work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home. Outside barbecuing with Chef Mark right now from La Piazza Allegra. And we had everything put on the grill when we went to break.
Everything onto the grill.
Fruits, vegetables, meat.
You got it. So the pineapple is over here searing. We have our steak. So we're just going to finish that off. And then we took
perfect
the
grill mark.
ribs. We took off those ribs out of the tin foil after it cooked for a couple hours. And now we made that barbecue sauce last week.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use that on this one as well. And we're just going to finish it off with barbecue sauce.
So if you did this for a crowd, you're doing some major crowd pleasing at this point, right?
This is very, yes.
You're getting
the crowds will be happy with this
all
one.
the elements.
So. All right. I'll take that pineapple off.
So now, are you using the pineapple more as a dessert side of things for this?
Yeah, I just
or-
thought I'd decide to grill up some pineapple. We'll put it with the ribs.
It smells so good.
I'm going to take
It
these
smells like
tomatoes.
dessert.
Tomatoes are done, onions are done. So we'll do onions and tomatoes for the steak.
Of course, everything tastes so much better when it's grilled. It just adds a lot of flavor.
There we go.
Wonderful. Look at that steak.
There's the steak.
You're
So that's your
professional,
grill.
aren't ya?
There, done it before. There's the steak all grilled up.
Oh, awesome.
There's our ribs ready to go. So that would be braising, and then you have your pineapple here,
Right.
nice and hot.
So I noticed you used a bigger chunk, but you could do smaller slices as well,
Oh, yeah.
right? But I
Yeah,
mean, that's just a lot easier by doing one big chunk like that, the way you did it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
There we go.
Good. So it shows people different techniques of cooking.
Different techniques.
And again, go outside, get outside, out of the kitchen, and
Stay
do some
outdoors.
stuff. Yeah, use your barbecue. Why not?
Use your
right?
barbecue.
Look at all the great things you can do. Thank you so much, Chef Mark. This looks fantastic. Try it out this weekend. Have a good one.